owning at least 100,000 VET, which is the primary native token of VeChain, that is crucial for me. I think it's a must-have for my portfolio, even though that's not financial advice. The reason being is because during this bull run, I could very well see VET hypothetically go into the price of $1. Now, at that point, of course, if that were to happen, let's say 100,000 VET would be worth $100,000. So the way to take a look at it is that, again, why would I not own at least 100,000 VET? Now, I'm not telling anyone to buy VET, but I do believe that it's very special for me, and I can only speak on my behalf. And here's the thing. Some people like to say that, yeah, VET can't go to the price of $1. It's impossible. It's trash and all this. But really just think about this. If, let's say, VET were to go to that price again, $1, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $80 billion. Now, that's around a 30x from here. Now, theoretically, is this outlandish market cap, let's say? No, because even Dogecoin back in 2021 reached over $80 billion in market cap. And keep in mind, the bull run that we saw that year, at least the peak of it, right, I think could very well be no match as to what we could see this time around. The reason being is because when we take a look at the peak of the 2021 bull run, there was roughly around 300 million crypto owners. Now there's over 600 million according to Crypto.com research. So it's a totally different ballgame here in my opinion. It could be a lot more special, but of course, there's a lot of short-term volatility in my opinion, especially as of late, right? Or should I say as of very recently, we take a look at, the quote-unquote alleged Bybit hack, in which case, over $1 billion of ETH was allegedly hacked by some, individuals, who knows, right? Whatever the case may be. Allegedly, Bybit say they have this under control. They say that, they can still process withdrawals and all this. But in my opinion, whatever happens there, only time will tell. But in my opinion, even though, of course, it'd be good if they recover all of it, right? Or, still be able to solve the whole thing. Even besides that, the way you take a look at it is that whatever happens as a result of that, it's going to be very temporary because people, they often forget very quickly. Take a look at whatever happened to, Terra Luna when it just went off into the abyss. Of course, we all know what happened, but I'm just saying, like, whatever happened as a figure of speech. But even besides that, we take a look at Celsius, right? Take a look at also what happened with FTX, So really, when we take a look at stuff like that, people don't talk about that type of stuff anymore. But back then, of course, it was a big deal. But again, as of right now, people don't really care about it. And it shows that, let's say, as May, June, July comes along, I think people will kind of forget about this. Here's the thing as well. Some people like to say that, again, going to the price of $1, this is bad because it's around a 30x from here. Well, really, if I were to put $1,000, let's say, into VET as of right now, and let's say we were to go to the price of $1, at that point, that $1,000 would be worth around 30 grand because, again, $1 is around a 30x from here. So the way I view it is that it's actually not even, that bad anyways. Now, people may think that, oh yeah, why would you think that all of this stuff is temporary, at least, when it comes to the FUD and fear? What makes you say that? Well, here's the thing. Usually altcoins is a worst case scenario. They typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April of last year. So 18 months from then is actually on October this year. So there's still plenty of time. Now, this is not a surefire date, by the way. It's more so of like a gauge sort of based off of history. It could always happen later or sooner. We just don't know. But in my opinion, this is, again, an indicator, if anything, that what we see as of right now could very well be a small bump in the road, if that makes sense. However, if I take a look at VeChain, I highly doubt that it's going to be a quote-unquote bad narrative during this bull run because we take a look at why this is so special. When it comes to, let's say, the VeChain Tor blockchain, right? The amazing thing about it is the fact that ever since 2018, it has experienced a total of 0 network outages. And yeah, you heard that right. I'm talking about 0, not 5. Not 3, no, literally 0, allegedly, ever since 2018. So could you imagine that all those years and still no network outages? Now, some people may be thinking, okay, isn't that kind of normal? But no, really. I mean, you got to think about how Solana at one point did experience around 8 different network outages in just a time span of a year. Now, this was allegedly back then. They solved this, right? At least they say, or at least some people like to say that. But in my opinion, can you imagine at one point that was nearly basically once a month, almost, right? For a year. That's not that good. Now, again, it's fixed, but you don't see that when it comes to VeChain. The track record is really amazing. Now, we take a look at, for instance, when it comes to VeChain, what market are they focused on? They're focused on the supply chain management market, which I think is great because you take a look at just logically. There's a lot of businesses out there, and I would argue that a lot of them could one way or another, let's say, improve their supply chain management. We're talking about large-scale enterprises, let's say logistics, companies, right? Let's say companies that act, and let's say building materials or whatever the case may be, certain contractors, could they maybe in some cases improve their supply chain management? Yeah, why not? VeChain could step in and save the day. So the way you take a look at it is that this is a very crucial project right here. And its partnerships do kind of speak for themselves. Take into consideration how, when it comes to something like VeChain, they're already partners, or should I say allegedly, they've already had partnerships with giants like PricewaterhouseCoopers and Deloitte, which are two out of the Big Four accounting firms, so that's massive. Take a look at BMW, H&M, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, even the government of Cyprus. So when I take a look at something like VeChain, it doesn't play around. It's a serious project. It's an actual project that's looking to stay for the long term. Now, some people would also argue that, hey, when it comes to VET, it is the primary native token of VeChain, but then there's something else called VETHO. And that is true because you take a look at VETHO. What does that stand for? It stands for VeChain Thor Energy. And it's basically like a gas token, so to speak, right? In simple terms, of course, people can take a look at deeper into that, but I'm just going to say it like quite simply, it is basically that. Now, again, yeah, you heard that, right? I'm talking about like Thor, from the Marvel movies. But yeah, even besides that, VETHO, I think, plays a very crucial role. But of course, I'm very bullish on VET because it's kind of like the main character, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like the main piece. So yeah, of course, VET is what I'm bullish on, but of course, I have to mention VETHO anyways because this is a video about VeChain. Now, people may argue that, okay, yeah, when it comes to VeChain, it's bad, it's all this type of stuff. Well, again, it's not. I think that it's very special, and not to mention, when I take a look at, the whole space as of right now, I still think better days are ahead. Again, when you have the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, when you have the sheer amount of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption, and again, right, over 600 million crypto owners according to Crypto.com research, I highly doubt that this born is going to be bad. I mean, as of right now, all I gotta really do is just stay patient, really. I mean, it's just a game of patience. It's like a waiting game. It is what it is. But you know what? I'm going to wait it out because I've been waiting this whole time anyways. I'm going to still be acquiring VET anytime I do an income, holding and just waiting. That's it. I'm not going to be day trading or using leverage or swing trading. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to keep things simple because I think better days are ahead. Imagine, let's say, as May, June, July comes along, this could be a totally different story, which is why I still believe in VET. Altcoins as of right now, they're generally having, in some cases, a pretty big pullback, but the way I take a look at it is that the lower the price, the better the buying opportunity for me. So I'm still going to be acquiring. And again, 100,000 VET is a must-have in my portfolio, even though that's not financial advice. And seeing VET, let's say, in a make-believe scenario, go into the price of $1 during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gained value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Bye.